So you think your boiler's had it? I'll fetch the 2 bags from the van. If you want the best, don't ask questions, 'cause brother, I'm your man. What it'll cost, well that's a mystery. Until I take off the cover, who knows what I'm gonna see. These are the jobs that driving me berserk. Why do only fools and plumbers work? La 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 la, 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 yeah. Why do only fools and plumbers work?
Hello, hello, hello. It's been a while. My name's Tony Leach-Muda, plumber in the pub, and today joining me, what's wrong with you, Matt?
Oh, I'm black and white.
Matt Franklin from 1972 and Payaka. Sorry, Matt. Let's just put a bit of colour on you. It's like that.
It's a bit like that at the moment.
It's like spitting image. Remember what they always did? Let's get you over. Always did to that politician. There we go. Let's get him over there.
Okay.
Matt Franklin in the house. Thanks for joining me again, buddy.
Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, there's a bit of an echo there, Matt. So what we're going to talk about today, Matt? Because we're in the pub. It's Friday. We're having a look about everything that we've been working on together over the last couple of weeks, and then we kind of just said right at the last moment, we've never spoke about Matt's story. We've never found out how Payaka came to be Payaka. So we thought, rather than doing the usual plumbers in the pub, and this is what we've been working on, this is what's going on in the industry, I thought it'd be really super good to get Matt's story, to find out, what made Matt wear a Payaka t-shirt. So over to you, buddy. Take us back to the days before Matt was wearing a Payaka t-shirt.
Yeah, no, good question. I started off my career in some very interesting for geeky people who like data roles in data analytics, looking at data, interpreting it, coming up with insight. I went to a company then called Ovo Energy, who you probably know now, pretty big. They were very small when I joined. And in there for a few years, I moved into product management roles. So product management typically is like working with teams of developers to build software products.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool because it was good experience for doing what I'm doing now, really. And then in 2017, Ovo acquired Corgi Home Plan. So obviously your audience know Corgi. This is the insurance business. And there was an opportunity to launch effectively a business that was like similar to the box model that I'm sure your audience knows pretty well. So
can I just interrupt there? Was Box still was Box was live by that point? Wasn't
it was very early days.
2017?
Box, yeah, very early days. And it was a new model. Ovo was very much becoming a tech business, and we really felt that we could deliver a much slicker like customer experience. It's really about the sales process. Is that initial point when the customer is able to, on a website, see their options laid out for them, see multiple payment options, be able to click on what they want, click on upgrades, get like next day installation, and just make that process pretty slick, which it was, and that I was given the opportunity to pretty much launch that business, Corgi Home Heat, from scratch, which was great as a kind of introduction to starting a business, really.
So they give you the reins. They give you a lot of free rein there to crack on and do this. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of worked my way up in that business to get the kind of trust to be like, right, Matt, just go and get this done. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, which was really really good, and we did it with a very small team as well, which I guess sort of still doing today that kind of thing. But really, the insight for me there was we could deliver that amazing customer experience at the sales point, but then when it came to actually delivering that service, we were using a large network of subcontractors. How on earth do you control the customer experience throughout that whole customer journey? It's like we could do one bit really, really well, but it was so hard to get that consistent customer experience at the other end. And then, to be honest, my eyes were just open to how many great businesses there are out there, like smaller independent businesses, and the fact that they could deliver that great service.
Yeah.
But what they didn't have was the tools and the technology to be able to deliver a really slick, nice customer experience that allowed people to buy how they wanted to buy.
Yeah.
So the insight really there was like the hardest bit is the service and the actual delivery of that and doing that well and consistently. There's all these people out there who can do that already, but they just don't have. They're so underserved with technology. They don't have the tools to be able to deliver that. And so it was just felt like such a big opportunity to just create that business that allowed those amazing businesses to have that complete end-to-end customer journey. And yeah, it just felt like so many other industries had great solutions already, but like trades and construction just seem to be underserved. Yeah, and that's kind of where it started and how we got going with it.
So what year did you leave there and actually found Payaka?
Yeah, that was early 2018. One of the I know we for anyone that knows Payaka, I've talked about this a lot publicly. One of the features as part of that buying experience that at the time I felt was important was the opportunity to spread the cost with a finance product.
Yeah.
So I started that in 2018, and because it's a regulated space, it took a lot of time to get the FCA authorization to do what we were doing. And there was a lot of exploratory work there because a lot of people said like we couldn't do it how we wanted to do it, and I was very much I believe that no, actually we could. Like I've read all of the guidance on this, but it's a long process of back and forth with the FCA. I mean, ultimately today, just cutting that story short, we've removed all the finance functionality entirely. I still think there is a solution there, but there are so many problems with the way that it can be implemented today. And it's on our website, but I wrote a long blog post on that about all the things, what we tried, what we intended to do, the reasons why it wasn't working, and the reasons why we made that change. But to be honest, that did slow us down a little bit in terms of it was a distraction.
Yeah.
We never were able to get it to the point that I was happy with.
Can I just interject that? So hold your place. You've written the blog. You've said we're not doing this. It's a distraction. It's slowing your business development down. Can I just point out something that we often talk about in the training is there's no point planning your final destination, where your business is going to be in 5 years or 10 years time. You don't have to know exactly what it is going to look like, what exactly it is going to be doing, because the chances are 2-3 years down the road you move direction slightly, you change a little bit, and that's something I found, and I still find it now. Where I wanted to be 5 years ago, 10 years ago, sorry, to where I ended up 5 years ago, totally different. Or potentially I didn't like where I ended up 5 years, and then I set on a different path, in a slightly different direction, and 3 years later where I thought I'd be, I was slightly off course again. But each and every time, it's like, well, I know what direction I'm going in, and over time, your plan changes a little bit. So the reason why I've just interjected there is exactly that. The finance aspect was a part of it, and it no longer is.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is that that kind of overall vision of where I wanted to get to is still actually very similar, but a lot of the ways that we're getting there have really adapted and changed. And I think, to be honest, it's got bigger and bigger as I've started working on it. And I do like that as an approach for starting something, to be like, look, I know I need to get there. I can't possibly plan out all the steps that will enable me to get there, but I know I need to get there, and I know if I do this thing and this thing, I can get started. So you can
It's
just
in that
start.
direction. It's
Yeah,
that
exactly.
way.
But I think
Yeah.
this is the thing that stops people starting businesses, because that feels so overwhelming to think about. If you actually were trying to think about all the things that you had to do to get there, it's just too much.
Yeah.
But I know I want to be there, and I know I need to do, this thing needs doing. So I'm going to start by doing this, and just keep doing that, and keep course correcting. Like, you'll get new data that will tell you this is working, this isn't. And yeah, I mean, I guess hopefully a lot of people have sort of experienced that themselves, and especially your audience.
Man, what time is it?
4 o'clock.
Oh, hang on. You know what happens at 4 o'clock, don't you?
No?
It's Friday, yeah. It's beer o'clock, buddy. 4 o'clock on a Friday. Hang on.
There we go.
Let's
I'm
try to
prepared.
get a sound effect on here. Oof. Oh, that sounded loud on my ears. Yeah, it's
Sorry,
Friday. It's
right.
Plumbers in the pub. How can we possibly? Are you on the cider?
I'm not on the cider. It's
Bristol boy.
Bristol Beer Factory. Bristol Beer Factory.
How
It's
how
excellent beer.
how can we be in the pub if we don't have the drink with us? So this is a Jaipur. Jaipur is the first IPA that I started drinking by a local brewery, only 10 miles away from where I'm sat right now. It is a 5.9, which back in the day when I first started drinking this, 2011, yeah, I was drinking this on our first dates with my now wife at the Sheffield Tap Brewery. So this is close to my heart, this Jaipur. What do you have to say about your beer there, man?
Well, and I was going to say I have had the Jaipur, and it's very, very nice. So I agree. Mine's a Bristol Beer Factory Fortitude, which is an amber, 4%. It like the range of beers at the Bristol Beer Factory is ever expanding. Seems to get better every year. They're all gluten free, by the way, for any gluten free people out there. It's brilliant.
Oh, we have a Rob Bear has joined us. He's just dropped in to say he was drinking Jaipur last Saturday in Toon. He's of the Toon Army, our Rob. Rob, nice for you to drop in, mate. Hopefully we'll be seeing you down in Sheffield sometime soon. Perhaps that Tramlines weekend that we've been talking about. Just give me a moment while I gulp a little bit of Jaipur. Do we need some music for this a little bit?
Bring the music.
So you think your boiler's had it? I'll fetch the 2 bags from the van. If you want the best, don't ask questions, 'cause brother,
I'm your man. Right, so back to the story then.
Yeah. It's,
So Payaka ditched off. That was a bit strong words,
Well,
but we
it's
are
kind
in
of
the pub, and it is gone 4 o'clock, so we can step up the language a little bit. So you decided that finance was not good for many reasons,
I
and you've
feel
come
like,
away from that. Yeah.
yeah, the timeline's kind of all over the place a little bit there. Like we launched the first paid product in 2020, so just when COVID was hitting, actually. At that
Right.
point, there was just 2 of us in the business, just recruited a first developer,
Mm-hmm.
and we were just started building a mobile app. Yeah, and they kind of expanded from there, really. Like the finance was still part of the product for quite a long time. It's only very recently that we've got rid of that, but one of the things that enabled us to get rid of it was just we built up so much value in all the other features that we'd created, and it's become, I guess, a very ambitious project
Oh, it
to
is
build.
ambitious.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you should see the speed that we're rolling out new updates. If you ever want to check that out, updates.payaka.com, you can see every single update that we
Oh,
do.
there's a plug there. There's a plug there, and I need a special
Put it on
sound
screen.
effect that's going to be like a plug pulling out,
Yeah,
But instead, you're just going to get an air horn. It is
yeah,
ambitious. I think we need the air horn just for the ambition.
yeah.
So let's say, how ambitious are you feeling? Come on, because it's gone 4 o'clock on a Friday. We've got the Jaipur out. It's
Yeah,
5.9. I feel brave. How ambitious are you, Matt from Payaka?
I mean, I think the answer to that is incredibly, and it's interesting because every time we roll out a new feature, we sort of look at what's available out there at the moment, and you realize that there are really successful businesses who are doing just that one feature as part of their business, whereas our product is incredibly wide ranging because it covers the whole customer journey,
Yeah.
everything from like capture of that initial lead all the way through to delivery of that service, and that's where we're spending a lot of our time at the moment. It's helping people manage the delivery of the service, automate as much as possible, organize teams and what needs to be done when it needs to be done. We've got a new mobile app that's coming out in the next week or so, which is super, super exciting. And yeah, there's just so much around that and automation. There's so much around like the customer journey and building out pipelines and customizing that for your individual business. It really is a product that is easy to use and suited for service businesses, but in particular, the thing that we've been spending a lot of time together is making it very, very customized for heating businesses.
Oh yes, I'm going to get more sound effects to go with this. By the way, just need to spend a bit more time on building this out, which is a lot easier for me now. Now that Jamie has joined the team, so this team on this side is also growing. Jamie started with us 3 weeks ago. Liam is due to be starting with us next week. Liam's going to be helping us with graphic design and websites. So all progressing for us. But here's the big part, I think. Let's talk about PHA for a little while, Matt. So Matt came. Originally, me and Matt spoke with our members, 18 months ago?
Yeah,
It was during lockdown, wasn't it? It was warm. That's what I remember. So this is probably around about the point that you've just taken on that first developer and you've got the mobile app out. So we spoke to the members at that point, but then we spoke again right here, Plumbers in the pub, before Christmas, because I put a silly Christmas hat on your head. I can remember.
I think I had a light up hat. It was
Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't have a Christmas hat at hand or on screen. So it was at that point that we had this Plumbers in the pub chat over 3 months ago that it all kind of came out. Well, what the level of development at Payaka was, which led on to a couple of really decent conversations the other side of Christmas and New Year break. And what me and Matt came up with is, well, hang on, perhaps we should work together on this. A few chats later, we've come up with Payaca Heating Accelerator. We've been filming that, so that's been a big part of the last 3 weeks. We've been filming the use of Payaka program and planning out also what else is going to be in PHA. Do you want to knock a few of them off out into orbit for what we've been working on, or do you want to keep? What do you want to keep under the hood for now, and what do you want to let out?
No, I mean, we can mention it. We can mention a few. I mean, a lot of it is about just making it as it's an accelerator. So it's about being able to get set up quickly. there's a lot of work that we've been looking at together in terms of mapping out customer journeys, and that's your kind of pipeline and making sure that each stage of that customer journey is covered, and the experience for your customers is as good as possible. And so it's really that there's a piece that's helping people get those pipelines set up in a way that works for them, and building the automations around that. That's also very well suited for heating companies. We're also talking about sort of product ranges with images and having them all inbuilt, ready to go. We've got like all of your gas form certificates that'll all be part of
Have
it.
you got any oil certificates?
Well, we actually just launched an oil certificate this week. What we've done, which is the killer, is like, because there's a few there already, and we've got like job sheets that you can send to subcontractors or even your team. But we've built internally for now a builder. So if someone comes to us and says, "I want this form," we can build it very, very quickly. Chris and the team built that. That's it is a shout out there for Chris. It's really good. And so the oil certificate, we just had someone come to us and said, "Oh, I really need this." 2 hours later, we've thrown it together and put it up there. So it's something that if we get a sort of like a good group community accelerated together, that we can. Well, I guess you've got a lot of influence there, because if you get a group together, all giving feedback and saying what they need, then that's ultimately what we're going to be working on.
So a number of people with the same wants and needs all together in a community, saying what it is that they want, going to get what they want, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we can't promise everything, but I think what we do know is like everything that we're asked for at the moment is like we're already working on, or it's already in the plan. And I think we've got, because we've been talking to people, so that's one of the things that we do as a business, is just spend so much time talking to people, understanding their needs, figuring out what the best solutions are. We're really confident that what we're doing is what people need. And it sounds like such a basic thing, but you'd be surprised at how many businesses just aren't listening to their customers, aren't really close to their customers, talking to them every day. And businesses tend to get to a certain size and they say, "Oh, we don't do like real time support now. It's all like you have to submit a ticket and like we'll get back to you in like 48 hours." I feel like that's where businesses lose their way, because they lose touch with the customer, and you need just a really tight feedback loop, especially if you're building something and developing it.
Yeah. Let me add just to crystallize that a little bit more. What we're working on with PHA is a pre-built system for the heating industry. And yes, every business is different, so it would be impossible to make it absolutely perfect for everybody, for every business in the industry. But there's common wants in the industry, and that is what we're looking to answer in PHA Accelerator. Okay, Payaca Heating Accelerator. It will be pre-built, so you will have your certs in there, which is what Matt's been working on. Sales processes, automation for the sales processes, some level of copy, text that you may need, places for your banners to go, places for your videos to go. Did I say service plan? I didn't say that, but we'll not go too deep into that. But yeah, service plan, product ranges and images, all ready to go for the plumbing and heating industry. This doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. So take a systems geek and a content geek, put them together, and I think this is going to be game changing for a lot of people. Really excited about it. What we will say is we want a small number of people on board to help us shape that initially. So a smaller number, 10, 20 people, to get in the doors early and help us shape that as we go. Ooh, Matt Baker's dropped in. Hey up, Matt.
Hello. It's ooh,
Is Matt Baker going to come outside of Essex and come and have a beer one day? That'd be nice. Yeah. Can the real Matt Baker please drop by? Let's have a beer, Matt. Come up to Sheffield.
So we've got I think we've got 4 people signed up already, so it is going to be limited. Should say that.
Oh, it sounds a bit salesy, that does, Matt.
It does sound a bit salesy, but
It does.
You
But
always,
this is it, because we want to start shaping it, and that's the reason why we want to get some people in to start with, is that we can listen to what it is that they want building. Because I always say not every business is different, but there is a common thread going throughout the industry, that it is the things that we all want. So we want some input in on that. Enough on PHA, because I don't want this Plumbers in the Pub to be a full on just talking about that. There's other things going on in life. Other things going on in life with our Jaipur here. I've just made that really small. I'm sorry. The pub's gone.
Stuck in space.
The pub has gone. By the way, that's the Triple Point Brewery in Sheffield, one of our favourites. We used to do training there before old COVID kicked in, and we couldn't put people side by side anymore. We used to do training in a pub. It was good. It was really, really good. So what are you up to this weekend, Matt? What's on your agenda? Because
this weekend we've got some friends visiting, which will be nice with the kids. Keeping them entertained, I think, is going to be the order of the day. Going to do a little 10k race on Sunday.
On your bike or running?
No, running.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Good stuff.
Yeah, how about you? What are you?
I'm going ice hockey with Liam of Southport. Liam of Southport is taking his kids to play ice hockey somewhere down in the East Midlands, and then he's dropping by Sheffield to see Sheffield Steelers versus Belfast, who are meant to be two big superpowers when it comes to ice hockey. So I'm really looking forward to that. I've never been ice hockey before, but it's going to be good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Good.
Anyway, buddy, I'm due to be having a quick chat with Rob the electrician. Thank you very much for dropping in and into the pub, dropping in and just sharing a bit of your story and having a bit of a chat about PHA. What's next for Payaka and PHA? When are we going to be hearing more about that?
Yeah, what's next with Payaka? The big things that are coming out over the next week or so. The mobile app. We've already got a mobile app, but this one is way better.
Mm-hmm.
A shout out to Vicky, who's been spending a lot of time working on that. It's amazing. She can take all the credit for that.
Vicky, salute.
Thanks, Vicky. Thanks for putting on all the work. And automation. So a lot of people might have played around with Zapier and setting things up there, but there's something that's going to be inbuilt within Payaka that allows you to set up automated communications going out to your team, customer, moving things through your pipeline, basically saving you a bunch of time. Super exciting. And for the accelerator, I mean, you and I are going to be spending a bit more time filming content for it, putting it out there, getting the first few people on board and just getting their feedback, really.
Building it.
Building it. And for me, the best way of building something is to get an early version out there and get people's feedback and just iterate. And it will just get better and better and better.
V1. Get V1 done. Then V1.2. What happened to 1.1?
I don't know.
Okay, buddy. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm going to have one last play of Only Fools and Plumbers. I'll have a gulp of my Jaipur, and I'll speak to you next week, and we'll speak to whoever else in Plumbers in the Pub sometime soon.
Cheers.
So you think your boiler's had it? I'll fetch the 2 bags from the van. If you want the best, don't ask questions, 'cause brother, I'm your man. What it'll cost, well, that's a mystery. Until I take off the cover, who knows what I'm gonna see. These are the jobs that driving me berserk. Why do only fools and plumbers work? La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la, yeah. Why do only fools and plumbers work?